How to achieve a successful third nap. Now, it's important to understand that naps, as the day gets on, the naps become more challenging. So the third nap, and in some cases the fourth nap, can be very, very difficult. And that's just not your baby. This is everything. This is all babies in general. And obviously from newborn through to 6-7 months of age, those babies in that category are having 3 and in some cases 4 naps a day. So the third and the sometimes fourth nap a day can be very, very challenging. So my tips and my advice on how to capture the third nap and sometimes the fourth nap is to use motion. That is my first tip. So first of all, don't put too much pressure on yourself and don't beat yourself up if the third and fourth nap is a disaster. It's very normal, it's very expected. And the best thing to do is get that nap in any way you can, because a nap either on you or the boob or in the pram or in the car is better than no nap at all. But my go-to is use motion, because motion is likely to get your bub over the line. So in the event that it is nap time and it's over or after 3, particularly 4 p.m. in the afternoon, I normally suggest don't even try the cot or the bassinet. However, if your baby is having the best day ever and you feel like all your stars have aligned and everything's working on your side, and you feel like, you know what, I think we're going to be all okay here, you could try the cot or bassinet. Absolutely. You could absolutely give it a go. And especially if your baby's temperament is quite happy and they're happy enough to just lay in their cot or bassinet and just kind of babble or play. And that might be able to get you through that third nap. Because remember as well, downtime and rest time is just as important towards the end of the afternoon. We can't force them to close their eyeballs and go to sleep. But particularly for the older babies over the age of 4, 5, 6 months of age, they sometimes just need that rest to just get them through to their bedtime. So if they're happy enough to stay in their cot or bassinet and babble and play and chit chat, that's the best case scenario. But if you're like what my boys were like, there was absolutely no way, particularly after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they were going to be happy enough to go in their cot or bassinet. Then use motion, pram, car or carrier. Now, in a lot of cases, the car's just not an option. You just don't have the opportunity. You might have other children. You just don't have that opportunity. So pram or carrier is usually your next best thing. I would normally suggest the pram above anything else, because the pram, you can still do stuff. You can still push the pram and be present with your other child or prep dinner or do what you may need to do. But at nap time, my suggestion would be to put bub in the pram, as this example, strap them in so they feel that sense of security, nice and snug. Give them a comforter if they're at the age they've got a comforter. Pop on some white noise, but most importantly, cover the hood over. Cover the hood over, and if your baby is facing you, then you may want to put a muslin cloth or something over the front so they can't physically see you. Because if a baby can physically see you when they're meant to be trying to nap, it can be really difficult to achieve that nap. So cocoon them in, cover them over, give them a comforter if they've got one, turn on the white noise, and all those things at the right time with the motion will help them get them over the line to sleep. Now, once they're asleep, I would then suggest putting them in a dark room or in a dark space and just leave them. Don't try to transfer them. It's too risky. You don't want to ruin it. So once they're asleep, leave them where they are, and depending on what time it is in the afternoon and depending on what they've already done in terms of nap quota for the day, you may need to wake them up. Now, I'm not one for waking a sleeping baby ever, but depending on what time it is and how much sleep they've already had and what time you want to achieve bedtime, you may need to wake bub up after anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes, maybe 45 at the most, like I said, depending on what they've already slept and what time it already is. So the later it is in the afternoon, the least amount of sleep you kind of want them to have at that point, purely because you want them to go to bed at a reasonable time, right? So that's kind of my tips for how to achieve a successful third and in some cases fourth nap.